there has been a big, big omission from at least the first two tests anyway that might give England some hope. Of course, those of you watching will know that, or listening, of course, will know that Virat Kohli has pulled out of the first two tests of the series. I think it's obvious to say he's a big loss. But what do you think that does for England and for India going into those first two tests? Who's are England thinking, all right, let's take advantage of this now, and are India as bothered as perhaps we might be thinking they would be? Do you know what I mean?
Mm. I think from sort of the England perspective, I think they're probably thinking it is a good chance to take advantage because you know you don't really like to rely on one player, but when that player is someone of the quality of Virat Kohli, then you know you can you can almost sort of put him in that category of like it's a very different game without him playing, and I think having obviously those first two games, India not having Kohli is going to be huge, and it's going to be a big opportunity for England to to try and take advantage because he could come back for the third, fourth, and fifth tests, and he could come in and start commanding games like he's never been away. And I think that's something what England have got to be really careful of. And I think it might be a case of if we don't kind of push on and try and get that, try and make the most of that advantage what we've been given, then I think it could end up being costly. And it seems crazy to say that about one player, but like I said, when that player is Virat Kohli, it it makes a big difference when he does and doesn't play for India, and it's going to be important. England were going to have to hit the ground running, no matter who was playing for India, really. But obviously more so now, it's important to just to try and take advantage and go from there really, and just see how we can kick on because if 5 test series in India. I believe I feel like it's been a while since we've had 5 tests in India
Mm.
because I'm sure the last time was 4, and it's quite rare to have a 5 test series which isn't against Australia. So I think that's going to be a whole different dimension to it. Really, I mean, we're touring for the best part of like 6-7 weeks, so it's a long time. It's a lot of cricket, and as you said, there's a lot of cricket for Kohli to come back in and play, but taking advantage of those 2 games when he's not available is it's gonna be big for England, I think. What about you, Peter? What do you think on that?
Yeah, well, I just looking at dates first of all. What you said about dates, the final game, if it goes to the fifth test, will end on the 11th of March, which that's a whole different season by the time we
Mm.
get to that game in England. But yeah, I think I can see it on both perspective. I think it's important when your opposition lose one of the best players in their team, if not one of the best players of all time in the game. Full stop. You've got to, that is an opportunity. You've got to take it. And you were right in saying that England have got to hit the ground running anyway. So, taking out a quality batter, taking out a name, you take out Virat Kohli's name out of that team, it's the poster boy of Indian cricket still. It's a bit of a psychological boost. You don't have to go and face someone that has historically had pretty good record against England in India as well. Having said that, trying to think about the Indian perspective, um, I'm pretty sure they haven't announced a replacement. Maybe they haven't because this is all fresh news. Maybe, um, but when you look at their squad, and I'm just going to read a couple of names here. Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Shavi Jaiswal, Shreyas Iyer, KL Rahul. That's just a few names to say that every single one of those players can step up and hit just the same amount of runs against England that Kohli could. They are such a strong, strong team, with so much strength and depth, that honestly, like, losing Kohli, it sounds mad, but actually, people can step into that, and England are still going to have to take, um, plenty of wickets. They're going to have to take 20 wickets to win a game, and whether it's Kohli or whether it's Gill or whoever, there's still plenty of people that are going to make it really difficult for England to do that. Which is why I personally think, um, as much as I'm not saying that Kohli is a bad batter, I'm literally not. For anyone, please, on YouTube, Spotify, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying more that because India has such strength in depth and so many quality players to turn to, he's less of a loss for the series, or for, at least for the first two tests anyway, than Harry Brook is for England. I think Harry Brook for England is a greater loss to their team than Kohli is, which is, again, it sounds mad saying it, but I'm more just saying that India has are good than anything else. I'm saying that Harry Brook is an informed batter, averaging or strike rating, I think, no, averaging, I think 60 plus. I think he's averaging 60 plus. He's been pivotal in the Bazball way since coming into the squad, and we need we need everyone we can get when it comes to being informed, strike rate good. If we're going to play Bazball in India, so I think he's a bigger loss. Come at me, YouTube. Come at me, Spotify.
No, I mean, I agree, to be honest, because and it's also, it's saying that Kohli is, the way you've explained it there about Kohli, it's kind of testament to just how much quality India have got. And I totally agree that, you know, not having England, not having Brook does kind of, doesn't necessarily make our top seven look weaker, but, there has to be a little bit of sort of reshaping there, and maybe a slightly different approach because of where Brook comes in, and kind of the impact he has, and the kind of the times in a game when he gets the runs. So yeah, I think, whoever it is who does replace Kohli, I mean, one, they'll probably thinking that they've got quite big shoes to fill, but two, I'm sure that they've got, more than enough quality to earn their spot there. And then, I mean, ideally for India, I mean, they might be hoping that whoever it is kind of makes it hard to just bring Kohli straight back in, because if you're getting to the point where you're keeping Virat Kohli out the India team, then you're doing a good job.
Yeah, that's a
I
really good
think.
point, actually. Yeah.
A little bit like with the Ashes in 2019, when sort of when Smith got injured, and then Labuschagne came in as like the replacement, and then he's like, everyone's sort of going, "Where the hell have they got him from? Like, he's unbelievable." Then it's like, is Smith going to get back in? Like, okay, we'll sort of like crowbar them back in together. Then, you look on like 5 years down the line, and it's like they're probably two of the most solid batters together in Test cricket. But obviously, that was quite different circumstances. But it just goes to show how in the game, these decisions, and like, obviously Kohli's had to take time out for personal reasons, but it's amazing how like that decision could have such a big influence on, kind of the future of that batting lineup, really, much like it was with Labuschagne, because I do get the feeling that he might have had to wait a little bit longer to get a proper run in the team. And it's weird how his chance came about from Jofra Archer almost taking Steve Smith's head off. It's
Yeah,
it's it's
yeah,
it's
yeah.
amazing. It's amazing how it works sometimes.
Yeah, but no, I think that it's a good point. They'll want someone to come in, even though they can rely on India can rely on uh just quality the whole way through their top order. Yes, they want the person that comes in to replace Kohli, to do um to do a similar, if not better, job, because you know they still need the runs. And I think on the point of a replacement, I think maybe bringing in a squad player, maybe from that India A team. I don't know. Something like that might be an idea, because then they could expose a new player to the test team. I think as well. I think Kohli is 36, something like that, and this will be probably his last time playing England in India. So I think for him, he'll be determined to get back. Obviously, we wish him all the best, and we wish Harry Brook all the best as well. And we hope that whatever personal reasons are keeping them out of the out of the series for now are dealt with and in the
Mhm.
swiftest and kindest and best possible manner, obviously. But you know, for him, if he can get back, if it's possible for him to play the final three tests, I'm sure he'll be absolutely determined to do so. Um, for
Absolutely.
that last bit of glory against a team, like I said before, he has historically done pretty well against.